Hello there, this is DBT and these are the rules. And alright, let's continue talking about Asphalt Legends. And I say talking because today, the new season, Phantom Riders, just started. And we're gonna have a look at everything that comes with it. The Legend Pass, the daily events, the special events, but more importantly, the Hololive Spotlight event featuring the card that you see on the screen right now. We're gonna do the full breakdown and of course the calculator so that you can check how much progress you'll be able to make. But before I get into it, if you enjoy my content, please hit the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel, because doing these things help the channel to continue to grow, it keeps me going and I can continue making this content for you. So go ahead, like and subscribe for some more Asphalt Legends right here. It helps, it's free, why not? But alright, quick disclaimer. Since there's a bunch of topics today, all of them are gonna be divided or marked by timestamps. So you'll be able to jump to whichever topic that you want. So yeah, there it is. If you're only interested on the spotlight, yep, just go into it. But first, I want to talk real quick about the Brabham situation. Because people have been wondering, this season just started and I don't have my key. Did Gameloft fly and they are not gonna give me the key? What is going on? No. So Gameloft just announced earlier today that yes, they're gonna be giving the keys later in this season. They just announced that it's gonna happen, but they didn't say exactly when. So it's just a bit of a matter of patience. It's planned, it will happen, just, you know, later. But yeah, now real quick, I want to talk about the Legend Pass. As usual, it's mostly just to show you what is the main car feature this time around in the Legend Pass car, which is going to be the Lotus Emeya, as we talked about in the patch notes. Other than that, well, you know how the Legend Pass works, right? There's a bunch of free rewards on the lower side. All of the rewards at the top are going to be the premium ones. You're going to be able to get blueprints for the Aston Martin DBS 770 Ultimate, as well as an Epic. For most of the cars, it's going to be this way. The 911 GT3 RS, the Noble M600, what else? Over here, the Lexus Electrified Sport Concept. We got the Ultima RS that is gonna have a special hunt later this season, so keep an eye on that. The main car of the Hololive event, the Ford Mustang RTR Spec 5FD. And eventually we just get to the end of the Legend Pass. So nothing much to learn about that other than some of the cars that are going to be featured there. Now there's also the Ultimate Legend Pass, which is actually going to contain blueprints for you to unlock instantly the Racer Aglaia, which is, you know, a Class S car, whatever. So other than that, well, the usual stuff, right? You can get a bunch of epic wild cards, you can get a bunch of tokens and credits and whatnot. Now this is obviously the expensive pass, but I just wanted to mention what is the card that is featured this time around. But really what I wanted to look at is the daily events real quick, because over here we're gonna have the usual, right? We're gonna have the Legend Pass Showcase where you'll be able to grab the Legend Pass car as a free try, the Lotus Emeya if you're curious to check it out. We got the Phantom Rider Showcase where you're gonna see all of the cars featured for the season and earn tokens for those cars that you do have. We got the Overclock Showcase where you're gonna be able to get a bunch of Overclock chips, but also test out some of these new cars of the season. Specifically, you're going to be able to test the Lotus Emeya, the Aston Martin DBS 770 Ultimate, the Mustang RTR, and the Racer Aglaia. Now, this obviously is overclocked cars, so they're going to be performing a little better than they would normally, but still it gives you a chance to try some of these cars if you are really curious to see how they drive. Now, I do want to mention the car hunt real quick, because even though I plan to make a video on this car specifically, the Jaguar CX-75, testing out in multiplayer and all that stuff, you know, I just wanted to talk about it. Well, not specifically this one, but the fact that there's also supposed to be another car hunt running at this moment. And that should be for the Praga Bohemia, though that one is the Legend Pass hunt. It's not showing for me right now, it was showing earlier. I don't know if it's only gonna show if I actually own the Legend Pass, but yeah, I don't know. It's supposed to be running right now as well. So yeah, why don't you let me know in the comments if you own the pass, does it show already? Because like I said, it was showing earlier, but now it's gone. So I don't know what to make of it. But yeah, like I said, I'll make a video on this one, the Jaguar CX-75, later this week or early next one. So keep an eye on that. Now let's talk about the special events, because, oh boy. First, I want to talk actually about the seasonal Revving event. If you're unfamiliar with this, it's basically where it features the cars that were the main ones or some of the main ones for the previous seasons, and if you do own them, and depending on the stars, you'll be able to get some conditions. Now, the rewards in each one of the stages is not a big deal. Yeah, a tiny bit of credits, a tiny bit of tokens, but the main thing here is to get a bunch of conditions in all of this in order to get to the main reward, which are gonna be blueprints for the Koenigsegg Agera RS. And again, if you have the main, the featured cars at high stars, yeah, you can get a lot. Now, the fun part about this is that a lot of people are gonna be able to get the Chiron at 6 stars, so that is gonna be 6 conditions that you're gonna be able to get from here. Then maybe you did unlock the Musler at 1 star, that's another 1 condition. Maybe you unlock the Silver Lightning, that's another 1 condition, and same thing for the Ferrari FXXK Lego, right? So if you manage to get 6 over here, and let's say 1 of each of the other, that's 9 conditions, and that by itself, it's already gonna give you 15 blueprints for the Agera RS. But if you do have some of those other cars a tiny bit more stars, you can get to 12 conditions easily and get in total 30 blueprints for the Agera RS. So that's pretty dope. Now from there onwards, if you do have them at higher stars, even more blueprints, so happy days, I suppose. If you don't have any of these cars, well, that's very unfortunate. But yeah, you know that these events do happen every season nowadays. Now, there is also going to be the SF90 Stradale EVO event, which is going to feature the 3 new EVO cars. The BMW Homage. Then we also have the Corvette ZR1 and the SF90 Stradale. Now, in the first 3 stages, it's going to feature these cars, and you can get some blueprints for them, some packs that may contain blueprints for the car, and I've heard that the drop rate on these are pretty good, but I haven't tested myself, so I don't know. And if you do have the car at max stars, you can get a couple of blueprints, in this case for the Homage. But here's the fun part. For the Corvette ZR1, if you do have it at high stars, you can get more than a couple. You can get 2 epics here, plus another 4. So that's 6 epics for a car that needs 12. So you get half the epics over here. Now, granted, this car did have a special hunt, so hopefully you did golden when the special hunt happened. But if you didn't, and you're missing some epics, over here you'll be able to get them. Now, for the SF90 Stradale, same situation. You can get a bit of blueprints, these packs, and whatnot. But if you do have it at high stars, man, the amount of epics you can get over here, it's crazy. You could say it's an epic amount of epics, huh? Anyway, so you can get 8 over here, plus another 2. That's gonna be 10 epics, I think. Yeah, another 2 over here. That's a total of 12 epics for a car that needs 16. So that's 3/4 of the epics over here, so long as you have it at enough stars. Now, if you don't have these cars at enough stars, you can always buy these packs. They're locked under 21 conditions, but if you can unlock them, you can get blueprints for all 3 cars featured in this event. Now, while the ZR1 and the Homage blueprints are not particularly rare, or to be fair, the Stradale are not rare either, still, you know, being able to get a bunch of blueprints guaranteed over here in these packs for the Stradale, that's pretty dope. And considering that it's the EVO car, it may just be worth it. There are already some videos around of showing this car, the SF90 Stradale with the EVO parts, and man, it can do some real damage, but yeah. And finally, the rewards over here, the milestones are just gonna be some credits and tokens, nothing much. I mean, it's nice to get this, but really the main objective is gonna be to make progress in the event, because once you get to stage 4, 5, and 6, if you have the car at gold, then you can get tickets for it. You can get 8 tickets for each one of these cars. But like I said, the important part is that you need to have the car at gold. At max stars is no bueno, you still need it gold. And that is the same situation for the other 2 cars as well. You need the the ZR1 at gold in order to earn your 8 tickets over here. And same thing for the SF90 Stradale, which kind of hurts me a little bit because on my Switch account, I do have it at 6 stars and I have all of the epics. I just haven't applied them, and I would need to spend so many credits to do that I don't know that I want to do it. But anyway, that is the EVO event. Honestly, a decent opportunity for you to get some epics if you have the car at high stars. And if you have them at gold already, well, you know, getting the EVO tickets because, hey, you know, those are useful. But all right, let's talk about the main topic today, the HoloLive Spotlight event. And first, I want to have a look at the shop because I think it shows us, it's a great way of seeing what are the cars featured. All of the cars of this Spotlight event are featured in the shop, so it's not gonna be a case where you need to be thinking or hoping, oh, I really wish that the car I want shows in the store. No, they're all there. And they're gonna be the Ford Mustang RTR Spec 5 FD, the main car, Class S. Then we're also gonna have the Honda Civic Type R for Class D. For Class B, we have the Idle Design, the Nissan GTR 50 Idle Design, the Porsche 911 GT3 RS, the Glickenhaus 003S, which, by the way, in my previous video I confused. I thought this was the Class D one. No, this is the Class B. And then we got for Class A the Noble M600 Speedster, the Lexus Electrified Sport Concept, and the ever so rare never spammed Vanda Electric's Dendrobium. So all of these blueprints are always featured in the shop, so that is nice. Obviously, you're going to be able to get some free tokens over here. It doesn't show because I already claimed them. That's why it shows 250 up here. But yeah, you can get a little bit free. Then you can get some additional over here, whether for... It's either going to be for tokens like it shows here, or it might be for credits as well. So yeah, keep that in mind. And eventually over here on this side, you get 2 slots for epics that seem to be random, and 2 slots for just generic parts. Don't ever buy this over here. They're so common in the game, it's a waste to spend your tokens, your Hololive tokens here. But yeah, that is as far as the shop. Obviously, there's also going to be all of the offers for money and all of that, but I don't want to focus on it too much, other than you can get a bunch of the decals for the car for a certain amount of money. I think that's like $15 approximately. So yeah, there is that. Speaking of spending money, there's also the Hololive Pass. Now, similar to the Legend Pass, there's going to be the premium lane and the free lane. Actually, the free lane is not bad, because you can get 20 blueprints for the Honda Civic Type R, which, if you don't own the car at all, that is like 2/3 to unlock it, so that's pretty dope. Then you can get a small amount of blueprints for all of the other cars, but what makes this one kind of cool is that you can get 4 emojis over here for free. I do imagine this has to do with each one of the Hololive people, stars, whatever you call them. But yeah, I don't know who's who or what, but yeah, there it is. 4 new emojis to get over there. And more blueprints for the cars, as I was saying. And eventually you also get to some decent amount of Hololive tokens, which, by the way, what I'm calling this, or what they're called really, Hololive tokens. But yeah, there it is. And on the premium side, you can get right away blueprints for the main car of the Spotlight event, the Mustang RTR, and a decent bunch of blueprints for all the other cars, 15 blueprints for each one of them, eventually making your way into getting even more blueprints for the RTR. Look at this. There's 10 more over here, another 10 and 20, and 1 epic for it. So obviously this is the premium thing. This is gonna cost you about, I believe it's $20 to purchase this pass. Whether or not you think it's worth it, that is completely up to you. Then again, it does contain blueprints to unlock and even start up the Ford Mustang RTR. And then with the progress you'll be able to make in the event, again, it's up to you if you think it's worth spending on this. But alright, it is the moment to talk about the actual stages of the event. And you know, this matters because that's how you make progress in the event and be able to get a pretty decent amount of blueprints. I'll give you that spoiler. Decent amount of blueprints to get over here. However, this is a very long event just in the sense of how many stages are there. There are 18 in total, though the last one is the competition, so we don't really count that. But 17 stages, and while I could go one by one, you know, that's a little bit troublesome. I like doing things my way, and you know that means... Spreadsheet! Yes, of course I would do that. So as usual, this is the spreadsheet. It's also a calculator, which is linked in the description and in the pinned comment if you want to use it to see how much progress you'll be able to make. But I will explain how this works real quick. Column by column, we got the stage that we're going to be talking about. How many of the coins, the collectible coins in the, or notes or whatever they are, the collectible things that you get in the track, and depending on how many you get, you will be able to unlock additional stages. What is going to be the quad required for said stage, and the details of what number of stars are going to give you what type of rewards. So over here in the orange slots or orange cells, that's where you're going to enter how many stars you have the car at. Just for example, the Honda Civic Type R, if this is a car that you have at 1 star, you fill it up as 1 star, and it shows already what you're going to be able to acquire. But if you have it at higher stars, then do enter it and it will fill it up in this way. Now let's go back to the first stage, the Mustang RTR, which is going to be, as it says right here, a gold free try. That's what FT stands for. So over here, just enter whatever because it's a gold free try, so anything works. And as you see, it marks it as green, and whatever it is that you're going to be able to get, it starts adding up here. So just as a quick overview, there's going to be Hololive tokens, there's going to be Hololive token packs, you know, these packs that can contain 25, 50, or 100 tokens, Hololive tokens, credits, some regular tokens. You can see that there's also going to be RTR blueprints or RTR epics, depending on the stage that we're talking about, and just other rewards as well. So for the first one on the Mustang, we're going to be able to get some 2,250 holo tokens, 25 of the holo token packs, 150,000 credits, and 105 regular tokens, and nothing else. So again, for the Honda Civic, Over here, you can see that it's marked as 1-star FT, 1-star free try. So even if you don't own this car, just enter it as 1 because this one is a 1-star free try. So it already shows that you're going to be able to get some HoloLive token packs, some RTR blueprints, MISC reverse miscellaneous rewards, which are those packs that can contain blueprints for random cars or some parts, so not particularly worth talking about. And fortunately, you can also get an additional 20 blueprints for the Civic, which again, it's enough to almost, well, it's 2/3 to unlock it, plus, you know, the other blueprints that you're going to be able to get in the shop, you're going to be able to get this car, so that's kind of nice. But if you do own this car already at 2 stars, and that is specifically if you own it at 2 stars, you fill it up with the 2, and it continues showing what you're going to be able to get, some holo tokens, credits, and that's about it. So anything that says FT with that start number, that is a free try at that number of the stars. The rest of this, for example, for the 911 GT3 RS, 2 and 3 stars are not free tries, so keep that in mind. So that's how you fill this up. Again, if you don't have any of these cars, at least you're going to be able to do the free try, so you kind of fill it up this way. If you do have the cars at higher stars, then do enter it or fill it up in that way. Eventually, you get to the Mustang RTR, which is again a gold free try. Over here, enter whichever, it doesn't matter, it just marks it. And now we get into the second half of the event where it's a little bit different how this whole thing is going to work. Because over here, for the Honda Civic Type R, is very straightforward. It's a 1-star free try, so same situation, right? If you only have it at 1 star, fill it up. If you have it at 3 stars, you can see there's nothing for 2 stars. But if you have it at 3 stars, well, fill it up in that way, and it starts, you know, filling it up as well. Now, why I said that this is different? Because when you get to stage 11, the car feature is the Nissan GTR 50 Idle design, but there is also a 1-star requirement for the Honda Civic Type R, but that one is not a free try. So if you don't own the Honda Civic Type R, you cannot do this one. But either way, let's say that you have the Nissan at 2 star. Unfortunately, you cannot get anything because in order to get the rewards, you're gonna need a 3 stars. And well, I think from there onwards, it's pretty self-explanatory how you fill this up, right? You continue filling it up depending on how many stars do you have for each one of the cars mentioned over here. And like I was saying, at the very top, you're gonna be able to see how this continues to add up the rewards that you are able to get as you fill it up. So over here, I'm just filling it up like this. And I mean, I entered it kind of randomly. And over here, it shows you already what you're gonna be able to get. Now, the very last stage is gonna be once again a free try for the Mustang RTR, but only at 1 star. So the only one you should be filling is at 1 star if you don't own it at all, or even if you have it at 1 star. Now, if you did manage to get it to high stars, then fill it up to obviously however many stars you have it at. So that's how you fill this up. Let me show you the grand totals of the rewards that you can get. Down at the bottom is not what you earn. This is the grand total for everything that you can earn in this event if you 100% it. That's going to be, well, specifically for the stages. You can get a total of 67,000 HoloLive tokens, 495 HoloLive token packs. You can get 3.3 million credits, 1,800 tokens, 63 blueprints for the RTR, the main car, and even 10 epics in total. Again, if you have all of these cars at max stars. Now, let me show you also what are going to be the milestone rewards, again, based on how many coins you were able to get. So it's just going to be a little bit, there's a decal for the Honda Civic Type R. From there, some miscellaneous rewards, some blueprints for the RTR, credits, a bit of tokens, and even 1 epic for the RTR. So that is basically the rewards that you can get over here. But I also entered the grand total, the 100% completion reward. That is to say that you have all of the cars at max stars and you claim also all of this. This is going to be the grand total. You're going to be able to get 20 blueprints for the Honda Civic plus an epic, 30 blueprints for the Nissan GTR 50 Idle design, plus 1 epic for the 911 GT3 RS, 40 blueprints and an epic, Glickenhaus, 30 blueprints and an epic, Noble, 40 blueprints and an epic, Lexus, 40 blueprints and an epic, Vanda, 30 blueprints and an epic, the Mustang, which I for some reason didn't add the G, there we go, the Mustang RTR, in total, it's gonna be 69 blueprints and 11 epics. That's so many of them. The holo tokens, the HoloLive token packs, credits, and tokens. Actually, I just realized something. Okay, there we go. I just fixed it. So I had forgotten to also add the credits and tokens on this side. That's why this is different than the rewards found on the left side. But yeah, those are gonna be the total rewards that you can get for 100%ing, I suppose, this event. But over here you can see also some additional information that I put, which are gonna be just a quick calculation of how many daily, it's not RT, it should be HT, because again, it's HoloLive tokens. So let me correct that. Yeah, there we go. How many daily HoloLive tokens you can get, because again, it's 250 for free, times 28 days. That's 7,000 that you can get by doing the daily claims. Plus, assuming that half of the days of this 28 are gonna contain the ones that you can buy for credits, and considering that you can buy 600 in total, times those 14 days is gonna be another 8,400 additional HoloLive tokens. And down here is just the general information related to the HoloLive Pass. This information, this is not added up here because this is exclusively about the event. This is about the HoloLive Pass, so that's a completely separate count. And finally on this side, you're gonna be able to see the table of the cars and the price for the blueprints and the epics. Now you can actually see that I haven't filled up the epics because I haven't seen how much it costs. As I get this information, I'm gonna fill it up. Maybe by the time you check the calculator, it's already there. But yeah, so basically I just wanted to put all of the information that I could of this spotlight event on this side so that you could check everything that there is to get in the event. Like I said, this is a calculator that you can use. It's linked in the description and in the pinned comment. Once you enter into this thing, if it's already filled up, just select from here all the way down here, clear it up, and it resets the entirety of the entire calculator, and you can start filling it up yourself. Now I'm gonna show you what is the progress that I'll be able to make in my best account, which is my Nintendo Switch account. So like I was saying, this is a free try, so enter whichever. For the Honda Civic Type R, I do have it, I believe, at 2 stars only, but yeah, there we go, I'll be able to get that. Nissan, I do have it at max stars, which is 5. For the 911 GT3 RS, I have it at max stars. Glickenhaus, I have it at max star, which is only 4 stars. Noble, I only have a 4 stars. Lexus, I don't have it at all. But since this is a free try, a 1-star free try, I can fill this up. Then for Vanda, I do have it at max stars. Again, this is gonna be a gold free try for the Mustang, so just enter whatever, it's fine. Now over here, again, I think I only have it to 2 stars, so I'll get that. Though probably I'll be able, considering that I'll be able to get some blueprints over here, I might be able to get it to 3 stars, but let's assume that I keep it at 2 stars. For the Nissan, once again, I have it at max stars, only 2 stars. 6 for the 911 GT3 RS, 2 for this. Glickenhaus at max stars, once again at 2. Noble, I have it at, what did I say, 4 stars, 2. I'm working, by the way, in changing this so that at the very top you feel the number of stars that you have the cars at, so that you don't have to fill every single one of these every time. But that is for some future version of this calculator. For now, it's a bit manual where you have to fill each one of them, but I think we'll be fine. Again, Lexus Electrified, I don't have it, and this is not a free try at all, so cannot do any of this, but I do have this car, so 2 stars. And the Mustang RTR, at the very least, is gonna be a 1-star free try. So in my best account, this is what I'll be able to get. 53,000 of the HoloLive tokens, 415 packs, which, by the way, over here, it's a calculation of what is the minimum amount of tokens that I could get from these packs if I only get the 25 token drop, or if I get an average of 75, this is how many I can get, but this doesn't matter too much. Then we also get how many credits, my tokens, RTR blueprints, and epics. I'll be able to at the very least unlock the car, so that is kinda dope. But yeah, there you have it. That is the HoloLive Spotlight event. Like I was saying, it is actually very, very good in the sense that in the earliest stages is where you're gonna be able to get the blueprints for the cars. Like I said, 20 for the Civic, 30 for the GTR 50, pretty good. 40 for the 911 GT3 RS, 30 for the Glickenhaus, 40 for the Noble, 40 for the Lexus, 30 for the Vanda. That's a bunch of blueprints, which is kind of nice to see because in previous events, Gameloop hadn't been as giving with these blueprints. I'm really glad to see that they went more giving this time. I hope this is gonna, lift morale of players and we're gonna be excited about this. I certainly am, even though I already have a bunch of these cars, for example. Still, 40 blueprints for the Noble, that's at least gonna start it up. And maybe, I just maybe will be able to actually unlock the Lexus. So it's kind of nice to see that they did improve in general this event. The only complaint that I have about it is this packs actually, let me show it to you in the event. In regular stages, you can get these packs, right? And it's no big deal. 3 races times 5, that's 15 of these packs. That is kind of nice. The problem is that later on, starting in stage 10, I think it's stage 10, man, you can get a lot of packs. You can get a total of 40 of these packs, but you need to do the race 20 times. That is the part that I'm like, oh man, it's gonna require a lot of races in order to claim that. But at the end of the day, you do want to do it because you do want this currency. And yeah, I mean, when it comes to these cars, if you're just curious about, hey, which is worth going for, it really depends on if you already own them, at what stars do you have them. But I don't think there's necessarily a bad choice this time around other than this Honda Civic Type R and the Glickenhaus. These are the worst cars over here. But other than that, all of these cars are actually pretty good, except for the Mustang RTR. That is the main car. Whether or not you want it, that's a completely different question. But yeah, so all of the other cars are pretty good. The Idle Design, pretty decent. The Porsche 911 GT3 RS, pretty good in Class B. The Noble seems to be also pretty good. The Lexus seems on the good side. The Vanda, it's the Vanda, so you know. So there's definitely a lot that you can get. But if I were to give you, not advice, but just my way of thinking about it, it's the rarer cars are going to be the Lexus and the Noble. These, I think, are the rarest. Well, obviously the Mustang as well. I would say go for the Mustang. But in general, the Vanda, even though it's a car that is super spammed and whatnot, well, it's a spam because it's relatively easy to get. It takes a while for you to get on the garage level for it, but you're gonna be able to get there. Though, it's a fantastic car. Don't spam it, please. Everyone does, but yeah, whatever. But over time, you should be able to get it. The 911 GT3 RS, it is also, as well as the Idle Design, these are also found in the garage levels, but it takes way longer to find them compared to the Vanda. So yeah, overall, I'm gonna say go for the Class A cars specifically, and I hate to say it, but you have to go probably for the Vanda if you're far away from unlocking it or you just want to get it as quick as possible, and possibly the Noble. I don't believe that the Lexus is particularly good. Or if you're focusing on Class B, I would say the one to focus on the most would be the 911 GT3 RS, though this one, like I said, is pretty good as well. But yeah, there you have it. That is the HoloLive Spotlight event, and as well as some other events in the game. Now, there's also a free try for me as a content creator, and I do want to test the new cars. That's what this is here for me to do. I just haven't had time to get into it. Probably next week at some point, I'm going to be doing some 1 or 2 videos testing these cars a little bit, because hey, why not? But anyway, for now, if you enjoyed this video, you know what to do. Once again, like, subscribe, it helps me. If you want to support me directly, consider joining the membership for access to exclusive videos. But yeah, that's all for today. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye!